Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hardcore 1.21 Let's Play. One thing I forgot was added in the 1.21 update is that there's a few new paintings. So I want to change out a few that I've already got up around the world, starting in the library. I know there's one painting that's of two villagers. Yes, this one actually. And I think that it's a great fit for our librarian. In our house, I'm replacing the one by the fireplace with this still life one that I've seen. Oh, that's not what I meant, but good to know that there is giant new paintings. But this is the one I was talking about. I think it's cozier than the one we had before. I'm excited to use more of those new painting designs in my builds, but for right now I want to do a bit of exploring, specifically in the ocean with our brush. And I'm bringing this fence this time to tie Stan to so he doesn't get lost again. And I'm not letting my cat on an underwater related adventure, so Daisy can stay on the bed. The closest ocean is the warm ocean where the mangrove swamp is, so that's where I'll start. I'm not looking for sniffers, I'm more in it for some cool pottery shards, but if I do find one, I'll make it a nice little home. Okay, this is as far as you can go, Stan. I'll be back for you, assuming that I don't die an untimely death. So far I see tropical fish, but nothing else. Ooh, it's not a ruin, but that looks like a shipwreck. Yeah, that's not impressive. Some leather armor and poisonous potatoes. And it's only half a ship, so I don't think it has another chest. Oh well. I still haven't seen any ruins, but we've got another shipwreck. And it's got armor trims, cool. Oh, I completely missed this chest. And it's the one that has the treasure, with an actual treasure map. Before we get any further out to sea, let's go back and find that treasure. We're getting to be in the area, kind of, and the sun is setting, and there's a portal in the swamp. I'm getting ahead of myself, I will look at that in the morning. I don't know why I'm so excited for this, these never have good loot. There's a golden apple though, that's not bad. And I'll take the armor for decoration purposes. As for the buried treasure, I think if you stand as close to the middle of the X as possible, that's the exact block. Or not, never mind then. Oh my god, I have been digging all around and it's right here. Okay, let's see. Some iron, gold, a diamond, some emeralds, and a heart of the sea. Wonderful. I've got nautilus shells that I can use with that to make a conduit. I can't tell if this is a new shipwreck or not, although it looks like a bigger boat than the others. Yeah, this definitely has some potential. It's so close that I think this is gonna be the same treasure map. Yeah. Chest number 2 in here. Wow, that is a lot of gunpowder. I can't leave that behind. I'm not sure if there can be more chests under here. Oh, there is. Hey, it's a treasure! With more diamonds than the actual buried treasure. Oh, and I sailed right over that ruin. There's got to be a lot of drown that have spawned while I was in that boat. Hang on, is it just this one building? This might be easier than I thought. Hello there. Go away, please. Ah, there's another one. At least it's not a trident guy. This is small, but at least there is some suspicious sand. But it's just coal. And this one's an emerald. Well, other than a couple gold nuggets and a duplicate map, this was a bust. Is this seriously another standalone building? What the heck? That's weird. Anyways, let's clear out all the sand. Oh, that's actually a pottery shard. A smart pottery shard. Yeah, we don't have that one. That's a good start, but the next thing is a wooden hoe. Alright, let's dig out underneath and around the structure. Whoa, I didn't realize it was so dark, but we've got a sniffer! I'll continue searching the sea a little bit because I do want some more shards. I've been sailing, and I keep seeing these single buildings under the water. I really thought there would be more out here. We've got a pretty limited chance of finding pottery here. Oh, that does actually look like a shard. The shelter shard. I think that's a new one as well. And there's another hoe. Ow, oh god, I didn't think there were any ground around. Our third shard. And it's another sniffer one, nice. I think that's it for here, and the ocean doesn't have a whole lot, so I don't want to keep searching around. But we found a sniffer egg and some pottery, so let's sail home. I made it back, Stan, are you surprised? Okay, we're back home. We've got a little more iron, and 3 more diamonds along with some coast armor trims. I've got all of this paper from the pirate ships, so I might as well make some books. And instead of making these into bookshelves, I've been just trading them away for emeralds. We've got the 3 new pottery shards, 2 snort, and 1 shelter. So I'll take any blank pots around and break them to use the new stuff on. I'm trying to keep it pretty even throughout the stacks in the corners, and that's a little better. Not as much as I was hoping to get, but the snort ones are super cute. I've made some fences for a temporary pen for our sniffer to hatch in. Sniffers need lots of space, obviously, and I don't want it to suffocate when it grows up. So I'm overestimating probably, and building a massive pen, right in the middle of our area, so we can see him all the time. I've got some moss to bone meal so the egg will hatch, and I'm pretty sure that they find seeds faster on moss blocks. The moss carpets might mess up the sniffing capability, so I'll get rid of those, except for our hidden lighting. Now the pen is ready. Gosh, I always forget how big these things are, even as eggs. While I'm waiting for it to hatch, let's use the heart of the sea we found. I've got a decent amount of nautilus shells from fishing, and now I've got a heart of the sea to use them with. However, I don't have prismarine blocks or any place around that a conduit would be super useful, so I'll use this as decoration for now. Who doesn't love an eyeball on the shelf? Although, I didn't know it floats. That might be a problem. You know what, maybe we just have a floating eyeball on the bookshelf in the enchanting area. Yeah, that fits in with this room nicely. I'm sure the sniffer will hatch soon, so I'll do some small stuff around here to make sure we don't miss it. Oh, he hatched! Hello, little lad. I'm assuming they can't sniff up flowers until they're adults, but for now he's really cute. We need a name for him. Another thing where all that fishing comes in handy. Let's see. Maybe Percy. I don't know why, it's just the first thing that came to my mind. Well, I guess that's it for my anvil. I'll make another one later. Here you go, Percy, you're officially named. And he does kind of look like a Percy. With all of our exploring loot put away, or in Percy's case, sitting on a pen in our lawn, we can move to the main project of the day, building a sugarcane farm. I'm planning on having it over here by the river, since sugarcane needs water to grow, plus this is right next to all of the other farms. To start, I'll terraform the land to make it slope towards the river instead of all of these awkward lumps in the terrain. There we go. That will give us a good place to build on. Now, to gather the materials. I'm going to have to constantly harvest bamboo because I want to use a lot of it. Let's also get a good amount of dark oak wood. And I'm going to turn a lot of this into slabs. Plus a couple of stacks of fences, because I love using them on the sides of buildings. Some stairs too, and trapdoors. This is taking a lot more dark oak than I anticipated. The next major thing is moss. Luckily we've got the skeleton farm, so I've got lots of bone meal for this. Percy, you've grown up. What a good sniffer. Have you found any seeds, my dude? Not yet. I'll wait a minute or two. This pen might be kind of small, actually. He still hasn't found anything. But I don't have any sort of collection system, so I have to wait if I actually want to pick up anything. I just want some cool flowers, Percy. See, they're kind of like these, but more exotic than wheat seeds. Oh, he's actually doing something. What did you find, Percy? Ooh, a pitcher pod. Thank you, sir. I'll plant this down by the river. Perfect, look at that. Let's wait for that to grow, and hopefully Percy will find more for us. But in the meantime, we need some tough and deep slate. I actually only have a little over a stack of deep slate. I haven't been strip mining in a while, and I'll need more tough than this to use all of the new 1.21 blocks. So let's head down to the mine, where we can combine material collecting with a bit of diamond mining. Hey, we actually found some diamonds. A lot of diamonds. And with fortune, we got 9 of them. Not bad for a happy accident. Now that should be enough raw materials. Most of the deep slate will stay cobbled, but I'll turn some into bricks and tiles. And with the tough, I'll make some bricks too. I should probably put the diamonds away before I lose them. I was kind of low on diamonds. These 9 actually really help. I severely overestimated the amount of dorite and andesite I have in storage, but at least Percy found something else. So we've got another pitcher plant. As for the stones, I'll search in the iron mine level for some matches of dorite and andesite. That's 1 or 2 more items checked off. The last underground thing I need is calcite. Well, and some smooth basalt, but they're in the same place. So let's walk down to the geode we found last time. Actually, before that, Percy found a torchflower seed. Lovely, our little garden is expanding. The pictures are almost fully grown, and I'll be able to place them in different spots soon. I don't remember how to get to the geode through the mine shaft, so we'll see what happens. I remember this cobblestone blockade, that's a good sign. I think this is the passage. Yes, excellent. The geode is pretty big, so I should be able to get 2 or so stacks of calcite. I don't need as much basalt, but it doesn't hurt to have. And that should be enough. To go with the smooth basalt, I'll grab the basalt we collected in the nether. It's quite a lot since we did a lot of tunneling through that basalt delta. I've been shearing my sheep whenever I have the chance, so we've got a few colors of wool built up in this chest. Today I'm using mostly white, but I'll take my grey wool too. With the bamboo that I've got so far, I'll turn some blocks into fences, and fence gates. Next I'm going to spend a long time in my basement, turning this dirt into 3 stacks of mud. I'll need a little bit of wheat from the barn to turn some of the mud into packed mud and mud bricks. And finally some of it will be stairs. With all the flowers blooming of last episode, like a lot, like possibly too much, we can use the dyes to create magenta and grey stained glass. The last set of items we need is some spruce stuff, so let's chop a spruce tree. I'll make some stairs with it, as well as the essential supply of trapdoors. Because this building is going to have sugarcane farms in it, I'm planning on it being quite large. I mean, to farm sugarcane and get a decent amount, you really need to do it in bulk. So we're starting with a huge perimeter of mud, but to texture it, I'm using deep slate tiles. When we move up to the basalt and cobble deep slate though, I'm switching the tiles for deep slate bricks. And finally in the stone base, we end with the tuff and some tuff bricks dotted in. Now you can kind of see the scale that this building is on. This doorway itself is massive, but I've got a plan to fill it in, outlining it with the mud bricks, filling most of the middle with stripped spruce logs, and in the very center, a double-wide door with stairs on top to transition from the full blocks to the doors. Next, let's add in some windows to break up the massive stone wall. I think I can fit 2 smaller windows on each side of the door. For the frame, I'll use spruce stairs since this is a 4-block window. We've used this design on our starter house too. On this back wall, it's more covered than the others, but we can still put in some mini magenta windows, with the trapdoors surrounding them. Another way to take away from all of the stone is dark oak trim. I don't want any windows on this area because this is where all of the redstone parts of the farms will be, but we can have a line of slabs a couple blocks below the top. And some pillars of fences a block or 2 apart. That's it for the trim on this side. All that's left is the roof. But this other section is going to be taller, so we need to build it up with the andesite, dorite, and calcite before we add on the trim. Starting with the andesite, we're basically just continuing the gradient all the way up, and eventually at the top, it'll end with the white wool. For the trim on this part, I'm bringing it out a block with a row of upside down stairs, and on each corner a spruce pillar. In between, I'll do the same thing we did with the fences on the first room, except taller. And in the middle, there's a window that's also outlined in dark oak. Up top, let's carve a 3x3 spot out of the wool, and fill it with magenta glass. To frame it, I'll use the spruce stairs and trapdoors for a lighter color other than the dark oak that fits better with the bright magenta. This makes a nice circle window to top off the wall, and I should fill in the windows below. To do that, I'm using the grey glass as a darker window that doesn't take away from the magenta one. The final stretch of this build is the roof, or roofs. Starting with the smaller one, to clean this off of the sugarcane, I'm using the closest block possible, bamboo, but for a darker green, a couple layers of moss at the bottom. Continuing to build up the layers of the roof, I used both sides of the bamboo block, with the side facing out on top for a slightly more yellow color. I didn't want to leave the roof plain, so I also added in a little window jutting out of the side. The walls were andesite to keep it neutral, and the roof I made out of the mud bricks to match the front door. To complete the first section of the roof, I did the trim on the side. And moving on to the taller roof. I actually started this one at the top and worked my way down because it was very difficult to get all the way up top, and I kind of wanted to get it out of the way. Above the last full block, I alternated between fences and gates for a pretty trim that brings this whole thing to a point. Going down, I used the same gradient, but this time scaled up, and pretty soon I was down to the last row of moss. Okay, so now the roof is finished, but I don't have a way to get down. The roof overhangs the building, and it's a pretty far drop. I don't think this will kill me, so let's see if I can water bucket clutch it. Yes, I actually made it. That could have ended very differently, but we're good. And with that, the build is finished. It's a bit bigger than what we built last episode, but this thing will definitely, hopefully, produce a respectable amount of sugarcane once we get the farms in there. I've got some redstone and plenty of quartz, at least I assume so, but we'll need more rails for the collection system, so this calls for a trip to the mine shaft, where I know I can at least gather the regular rails. And I'll mine any gold I see to make some powered rails later. Oh, I'm sorry, Daisy! Oh, that was my pickaxe. That did some damage. I'm so sorry, my girl. Okay, we've got the rails that we needed. Next, I'll see how much of the redstone supply we use on the powered rails. That's not too bad. Let's get the rest of the redstone supply, because we need to make about a stack each of observers and pistons. The pistons could also threaten my iron supply. Plus I need to make a hopper and a minecart, which uses up 10 iron itself. But with that out of the way, I'll start with the observers, which need lots of cobblestone. Okay, we've got 60, and still have plenty of quartz left over. But now for the pistons. Alright, the most difficult part to get out of that was surprisingly the planks. But we've made enough pistons and observers for the farm. The last thing that uses redstone is the redstone lamps. These are just for looks, so it doesn't really matter as much. I also do need to make about a half stack of levers to power everything. And now we can start setting up the farm. The first part to get going is the collection system, since this is kind of underneath everything. And I'm planning on having 2 levels of farms, so the track needs to travel up to the second layer, where it will go on top of the lighting system for the first row of sugarcane. This is where I've got the redstone lamps with the jungle logs. And the lamps are just powered by a lever on the side of each of them. This design makes it too so that the powered rails can use the levers on the lamps to power them. In the middle back here is where the hopper and the chest will be. I didn't put any powered rails on this side, so the minecart should be going slow enough to drop off the sugarcane. These blocks of dirt are where the sugarcane will grow. So behind that we need a channel of water, and hopefully we won't flood all of the track we just put down. Now we need the actual sugarcane. This is all I have at the moment, so it'll have to do for a start. With the first floor of sugarcane planted, let's build the harvesting mechanism. I'll cover up the water with jungle planks, on top of that the pistons, and the observers on the third block. To connect these we need a layer of redstone behind the observers. This should be functional, but it has to have a wall of glass in front to block the sugarcane from flying everywhere when it's broken. Perfect. Now we can repeat this on the second layer. Ah, oh my god, a creeper exploded right in front of me. Crap. Okay, I should probably take down that dark staircase that goes up the wall, I suppose. Okay, but back to the second farm. Oh, the pistons just fired for the first time. Let's start the minecart now and see if it works. It seems to be going around okay, and it's dropping off sugarcane. Nice. The first few sugarcane I'll have to use to finish planting the farms, but everything is fully functional now. I ran out of glass, so I did have to put some dirt in the back, but it's fine. Next we need to make all this look a bit better. Oh no, another creeper? Where are you guys coming from? Probably the roof, actually. Oh, what the heck? What has been going on outside? There's 3 villagers and a Percy. I need to be very careful here not to hit Percy. But there isn't a banner guy, surprisingly, so I can just take them all out. Ah, there we go. Oh, and Percy gave us another torchflower seed. I've been collecting any seeds that I can and expanding the field, so we've got a few of the flowers growing along the river now. Anyways, all I came outside for was to get my stone cutter. For the floor in here, I'm thinking of using polished tuff for the first time, and I'll checker it with the polished granite in here. There, that works. It doesn't extend across the whole room because I want something different for the space around the farm so it feels more separate. And for this floor, let's use andesite. It's not too different from what we've used already, so it should fit in. Next, we need a way to get to the second level so that we're not climbing on the railway, and a simple dark oak staircase should do. On the corners of the glass, I'll put up spruce pillars, and block the rest of the wall in with tuff. I'm not going to use or decorate the top part of this building today, so instead let's make a ceiling on this layer out of stone bricks. I can't forget to light it up in here so that we don't make a mess of a mob spawner, but that has made it very dark in the main room. Mangrove chandeliers are always a good option for light fixtures. Well, they don't light it up that much, but they look good. I keep accidentally walking on the track to prevent me from messing up the cart and making a problem for myself. I'll build up a fancy tuff case to enclose the rail. Yeah, that works. I've used the chiseled tuff along here to make it look engraved. In the farm, I realized that this door doesn't go anywhere. To fix that, let's use the copper grates as like a catwalk along the middle. I'm not sure if you can open a chest underneath the grate though. You can. Interesting. I didn't even need these trapdoors. The interior is looking good, but it's a bit blank. We need some shelves in here that can hold some decorations and some extra storage. There, we've got some cute shelving in here now. I used the bamboo to look kind of like a block of sugarcane, but the last thing this needs is some flowers. Since we got a sniffer today, I'm going to use a lot of the torch flowers. Unfortunately, the pitcher plants don't fit in pots, otherwise I would use those too. Let's see, we can put a torch flower on this little shelf, one in the center of this wall, and one on the top shelf. I also brought a daisy, a mangrove sapling, and an azalea bush. Perfect, now the shelves feel a bit more alive. The final decoration in here I thought could be a fountain, for no other reason than sugarcane grows next to water. I don't know how big of a fountain we can fit in here, but I'll try. Okay, I've used more of the fancy tuff to make this look decent, but I couldn't do very much with the small space. I'll leave it though, it looks cool enough. I've also added in some glowberries for more light in the corners, and all these decorations make a pretty put together room. We've got extra storage on the shelves, and along here with the barrels. The farm is already producing lots of sugarcane, and a bit of dirt, unrelated. It's only been on for about an hour, so that's pretty good. I'll have to smelt more glass for this layer, but other than that, everything worked out pretty well. But with that, that is all of the time that I've got for today. I'm probably going to go and mob-proof all of the roofs. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.